Now, don't get any of this stuff twisted. Epstein was definitely doing his dirt. My concern was always about these accusations that come out years later, naming some high-profile, vulnerable people. That always makes me flinch a little bit, regardless of political affiliation, regardless when anybody stands. I don't like a Me Too accusation. I can see them, and I can smell them from a mile away, and that's what this one seemed like. Okay, I used to work for Jeffrey Epstein, and then a bunch of men would just foist themselves on top of me. I understand you found yourself in a compromising situation, but man, I got a tough time believing any of this stuff. And then imagine that. Wow, it's almost like I hate being right all the time. Prince Andrew accuser Virginia Roberts now says that she might have made a mistake when she said she was forced to have sex with Alan Dershowitz at the bidding of Epstein. Yeah, and Dershowitz has come out and said, I was never there. I wasn't there at that time. Okay, I have all the receipts. I was at this place. I can go ahead and track my steps for the past 20 fucking years with the exception of a couple of dates, okay? So, like, it was so obvious, like, this bitch was going to lose her defamation case, okay? For the fact that it took her this long, already, mission accomplished, okay? She got to drag Dershowitz through the dirt. He used to be a prominent figure on CNN, and they were already just trying to, distance themselves from him because being a staunch First Amendment supporter, and that's why I appreciate him, okay? He represented Trump during his first impeachment, and what did Trump get impeached for to begin with the first time? Trying to do some quid pro quo with Ukraine? Huh. Interesting how that stuff shakes out. But anyways, no, like I said, he was in a compromising situation because the left, somewhere where he professed to be for so long, he was a staunch Democrat, still is for as far as I know, but they were trying to, you stay over there for a moment, okay? You helped out Bad Orange Man. He's like, no, I'm just here for the Constitution and free speech. And they're like, no, you just go away. You helped Orange Man in some form or fashion. And he's like, okay, well, fuck you. That's why I like him. Even at like 9,000 years old or however old he is at this point, he's still got quite a bit of chutzpah, as it were. Prince Andrew's accuser, has sensationally admitted that she may have made a mistake by claiming that she was forced to have sex with a high-profile lawyer. Virginia Roberts said she was very young and very stressful and traumatic environment. Okay, cool. So, okay, I might have made a mistake because I was in such a bad place at this time, so I just decided to take down a bunch of other people in my wake because I couldn't accept responsibility, actual kryptonite for women. Interesting. I know Dershowitz said that he was looking at exploring his legal options off the back of this too, filing a counter defamation claim. I think he's got good feet at this point in time. But of course, whenever you bring up Epstein, you're going to have the conspiracy theorists pop out of the woodworks. She was clearly paid off. Oh my God, this was all a hoax. This is a false flag effort in order to clear the name of Jeffrey Epstein because we still need that flight list. It's like, okay, cool. Well, it would be nice to see that flight list. Okay, you should probably, if you're too worried about all that stuff, you have obvious way too much fucking time on your hands, and you should probably do something more productive with your life. Just saying, it's heinous what he did, or at least what he was alleged to have done, what he was convicted to have done. Don't want to take that away from him. He definitely earned all of those fucking years in Club Fed until he killed himself. But if you could just take off the tinfoil hat for a moment and take a look at what is actually going on, that would be terrific. Okay, thanks. Today she dropped a defamation case she brought against Dershowitz in 2019 with no financial payment made to either side. No, there was some money that went on in the background, blah, 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 whatever. The extraordinary development comes months after Roberts settled a civil claim with the Duke of York for a reported $12 million. Yeah, obviously that would have gone on under an NDA. We'll never know for sure, and that's what ended up getting Prince Andrew excommunicated from the royal family or whatever the fuck. Roberts claimed she was forced to have sex with Andrew 3 times when she was 17 at Epstein's bidding. Dershowitz was among the other high-profile men that Roberts claimed she was loaned out to at Epstein's command. You'd think you'd probably be able to know for sure if that was the face that was hanging over top of you, okay? I would just thinking. She sued the 84-year-old Harvard law professor. He used to be emeritus over at Harvard, but not anymore because that title needs to be bestowed upon the likes of Brian Stelter. I know he's not Professor Emeritus or anything like that, but he got some sort of fucking funding to spew his lies over there. It's just goddamn hilarious. But anyways, yeah, sued him in court, which is how you sue somebody, in New York for defamation in 2019, and he strongly and vehemently denied the allegations. Yeah, and provided receipts, and it took her this long to go, oh, fuck, I might have made that up in order to... Yeah, in order to make a quick buck. But she already got paid off, okay? She got paid off by the royal family who has endless fucking money. So you wonder why she wasn't exactly pressing all that hard to continue with this defamation case? Boy wonders. Dershowitz, who has represented O.J. Simpson, plenty of other people as well, and I know a lot of lawyers who are out of work are looking for trials to cover right now. Are also dissecting some of the bigger trials that are out there, and O.J. Simpson definitely didn't kill his wife, and was a lawyer for Epstein who negotiated his 2009 sweetheart plea deal. He's a good lawyer, imagine that. Has become a strong critic of the Me Too movement, good man, and wrote a book called Guilt by Association criticizing it. He wrote a lot of books, okay? This isn't a one-off situation. He is an accomplished author as much as he is an accomplished lawyer. In a statement at the conclusion of the case, Roberts, 38, who now lives in Australia. Oh man, you couldn't continue with a defamation case because Australia isn't real, and goes by her married name Giuffre, whatever, said, I have long believed that I was trafficked by Epstein to Alan Dershowitz. However, I was very young at the time. It was a very stressful and traumatic environment, and Mr. Dershowitz has, from the beginning, consistently denied these allegations. Wouldn't you think you'd know who was inside of you at any given time? I would think about it. Like, there's some names from my past. I at least know the first name. I remember faces and asses and tits, but I don't really remember all of the names. But you'd think you'd be able to differentiate. But hey, man, if you're making this shit up on the fly, I guess I understand. I now recognize that I may have made a mistake in identifying Mr. Dershowitz. This litigation has been very stressful and burdensome to me and my family. To you and your family, huh? Bringing a defamation case that dragged the man through the fucking mud for years at this point in time, and it's been hard on you and your family. You'd get mad at her, but it's just female nature, man. You gotta just fucking shirk it off. And we believe it is time to bring an end to and move on with our lives. I'm sure you probably have, because you only stood to gain from these claims, but a man's life has been ruined, as much as it has in at least the administrative and high-end lefty class. Like, let's just go with that. This case was due to go to trial next year, and would have been the first time that Roberts would have faced questioning in a court of law about any of her claims. Her claims were used in the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell for recruiting and trafficking underage girls for Epstein last year, but she never turned up to testify. Fucking weird about that. But I got all these claims, and oh my god, see, I'm the girl in that picture. We definitely had sex right after that, and what was Ghislaine sitting in the corner flicking her bean or something like that? Just fuck off. In a statement, Dershowitz said he was gratified that the lawsuit has ended, and he said, as I have said from the beginning, I never had sex with Miss Giuffre. I have nevertheless come to believe that at this time she accused me. She believed what she said. Yeah, no, exactly. Ms. Giuffre is to be commended for her courage now, stating publicly that she may have been mistaken about me. She has suffered much at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein, and I commend her work combating the evil of sex trafficking. Robert's lawyers, David Boies. Wow, he is a lot more level-headed than I was in that situation, but he's also trying to reconcile the end of his life. Not that I'm wishing anything, he's also in his fucking 80s at this point. Robert's lawyer, David Boies, said in a statement that the conclusion of the case meant all parties can move on. I know that Alan Dershowitz has suffered greatly from the allegations of sexual abuse made against him. Yeah, because it just came out of left fucking field. Like, he's defended quote-unquote murderers, okay? Actual Klansmen, people who have called actual anti-Semites, not just online ones that tweet out links to fucking uncomfortable videos. Like, he's a good dude, a principled fucking dude, and this came out of nowhere. Oh, you used to work for Epstein, therefore you fucked kids? Like, that doesn't really make that much sense. An allegation that he has consistently and vehemently denied. I also know that the litigation has imposed and continues to impose a significant burden on Miss Giuffre. Yeah, fuck her, though. A spokesman for Prince Andrew declined to comment. We already settled our shit. Stop fucking asking me about this. Christ almighty. Yo, hopefully now that he isn't spending so much money on this trial, he can get his old fucking chompers fixed, because that's atrocious. Roberts sued Dershowitz for defamation for calling her a liar about her allegations. In a civil complaint, she said during the time period that that Roberts was being trafficked by Epstein, she was forced to have sex with Alan Dershowitz. Roberts was forced to engage in sexual acts with Dershowitz in, among other locations, Epstein's New York mansion. So she was getting flued out all over the place to fuck this guy, but I might have made a mistake in all of the different locations. Fucking what? Excuse me? She claimed only a person seeking to conceal improper conduct would have engaged in a pattern of lies, which has characterized Dershowitz's statements since his sex trafficking was revealed. And now she can just, explain this all away by saying, lol, I made it all up. I hate women. I hate them so much. This reeks so much of those broads who come forward decades later. Actually, that guy that raped me, that wasn't him, and I made it all up. But that's all right. We're fine with that. And then the guy just gets out of jail, and he's like, well, at least I had an opportunity, and I've really changed my life, and I won't find myself in those situations. It's like, fucking what? Oh my god. If we were specifically on Rumble, or at least on a decent free speech outlet, I would make a nice crude joke right there, but we'll just let that slide for a second. I'd just say, if I ever found myself in that situation, I would be a little bit less cordial than Dershowitz, or that hypothetical, sexual assaultist is would be. Maxwell is currently appealing her conviction. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about her. Yeah, she's appealing it, but then again, she's also staying at minimum security Club Fed, where she gets to go and exercise and do yoga, and she looks like she's living a pretty good life running the fucking, county track that's out there. She'll be fine, everyone. Roberts also sued her for defamation in 2016 in a case that was settled by Maxwell. Yeah, so she already got her fucking money, and Dershowitz is probably the least wealthy person that she filed a lawsuit against. So she's like, oh, I could get a couple $100,000, but then at the same time, I got how many million from Andrew? Yeah, we could probably just go ahead and let this shit chill. She also claimed to have been loaned out to former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson and to billionaire investor Glenn Dubin, who have both denied wrongdoing. I don't know if Bill Richardson was a Republican, but I've always been wondering why there's such a Democratic slant to New Mexico, because it doesn't really make much sense. Appearing on the Megyn Kelly show on Sirius XM, your mileage may vary. Dershowitz said, as far as I'm concerned, the matter is now resolved, and we can go on living our lives. Me with a clean record. Yeah, but just like every other Me Too accusation, because even as public as it was, Johnny Depp is still facing the backlash because some fucking idiots that are out there continue to think that he was the aggressor in that relationship, and until the day he dies, and probably long afterwards, Dershowitz is going to be inexorably linked with Epstein and Virginia Giuffre, Roberts, whatever the fuck, even though he didn't do a goddamn thing. But hey man, remember guys, believe all women, right? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.